going to talk about the preventative maintenance procedures for the Canon CR-190i. To get started, we're going to just make sure you're familiar with the maintenance doors and covers that are on the check scanner. And I'd like to start by pointing out the on-off button for the check scanner is located, would be the back left corner right here. And that'll be important to know when we talk about running the cleaning cards. The maintenance covers can be opened from the back of the scanner. You've got the on-off button over here. There's a little lock here that unlatches. And you've got two covers that'll open in the back. And then there's a third cover, maintenance cover, on the left side of the scanner. So when they're all open, the scanner's going to look like this. Now, the only reason you would open these covers is to perform preventative maintenance, or there is a possibility of a check getting jammed, although it's very unlikely. So if you need to manually remove it, you can simply open the doors and remove the check. I always like to point out too, when you're closing the doors, you want to close the door on the right-hand side first, and then snap it shut with the back door. The next door that you will want to be familiar with is located on the left side of the check scanner, right here. This door contains the ink disposal tank. It just pulls open. Inside you'll find an ink disposal tank that we'll be talking about a little bit later in the presentation. Okay, we have the top cover that you should also be aware of. Comes off. This is where you'll install the inkjet cartridge. And when you open the top cover, there's two little plastic shafts here that you can lift up so you have easier access to where the cartridge goes. Okay, so this is where the cartridge will go in. We will insert the cartridge, make sure it snaps in, and it'll go back down to its original position. Now looking from at the right side of the check scanner, there's a hidden door here. It's right in this area here. You can pull it out from the front of the scanner and open it. In here you'll find the roller gap adjustment dial. Now, the roller gap adjustment is set to number 5. That's the factory setting. What this dial will do is it will increase or decrease the tension on the rollers depending on the type of document that you're scanning. Typically, the number 5 setting is fine for most checks. However, if you find a document that's a little bit thicker, maybe a money order or some other document that's too thick to go through at the setting at 5, you can make it wider by turning it down, say from 5 to 3. You can make that gap wider. If you have a very thin document, maybe a cash in and out ticket or something that's thinner than a typical check, then you would move the dial up to maybe 7 or 8 to adjust the gap so that the documents will feed through properly. Generally speaking, we do not recommend making any adjustments unless it's absolutely necessary. If you're having trouble feeding documents initially, you'll want to check to make sure that the dial is set to number 5. The CR-190i check scanner is a high volume scanning device. It's very robust and extremely reliable. It will work best if it's properly maintained. And so we're going to review the preventative maintenance procedures, which are very simple. This whole process should take about 5 minutes per week. If you have a regimen of doing the preventative maintenance once a week, you'll find that the scanner will perform at its manufacturer specifications, and you'll have very few issues in terms of service interruptions as long as preventative maintenance is performed on a regular basis. So we have a preventative maintenance kit that came with the check scanner. These are the contents of the kit here. The kit includes instructions as to how to use each product contained in the kit. And today we're going to go ahead and review each product, how it's used, and you'll see it's a very simple process that, again, should take no longer than 5 minutes. Okay, we're going to begin with the recommended weekly cleaning procedures as part of the preventative maintenance plan. what you'll do is open up the maintenance covers, all three. Using the compressed air that's contained in the kit, we want to start at the front of the scanner and just go right along the check track and blow out any dust or debris that is built up. Next, we're going to use a Canon cleaning card that you'll find in your preventative maintenance kit. They're individually wrapped. Once you unwrap it, it's going to look like this. It's a waffle technology card. Now, running the card is very easy, although the first time you do it, it's a little tricky, so we're going to take it slow. What we'll do here is a couple of steps. The first thing you'll need to do is press the start and stop button simultaneously, the green and orange button, hold those down, and then I'm going to turn the check scanner on with the on-off button located in the back. The scanner will initialize and the blue light will start flashing. Next, you'll see that the function key here is lit up. We want to press that and turn that blue light off. And now we're going to insert the cleaning card. We're going to hold down the jogger button and the start button. Then lift up on both. Okay, and the card's gone through. We'll take it again. We'll hit the start button again. We're going to do it a few more times. You can flip these around and turn them upside down so you're using a fresh side each time. We recommend doing this 5 or 6 times. What the card is doing is it's running through the check scanner. It's cleaning the mica read head. It's hitting the cameras in the check path so that any ink or any other debris, these are coated with a coating that will dissolve ink very quickly. And this is the best and easiest thing to do to properly maintain your scanner. Okay, we're almost done. In addition to the weekly cleaning, we strongly recommend that once a month you do a little, we call it detailed cleaning. I've got the maintenance covers open here. What we're going to do, using a swab that's contained in the kit, we're gonna open the maintenance doors. These are the cameras. There's one on either side. You'll see the glass tube here. You want to wipe this whole area with the swab, not only the glass, but the surrounding black assembly. What happens if you get lines on your image, it's usually a little drop of ink that's either on the glass that's easy to see, or it's on the surrounding assembly, which is not so easy to see because the ink, of course, is black. You want to do both cameras in the surrounding assembly, and that's it. Now, one last very important piece that we're going to talk about, and that is, and we mentioned it earlier on, close up the covers. You want to check the ink disposal tank once a month or whenever you change the ink cartridge, or both. So we're just going to open the little door here. Let's inspect the ink disposal tank. This is not what you want it to look like. What's going to happen soon on this check scanner is this ink is going to leak out onto the camera that we just cleaned, and it's going to cause lines on your image. So when you see the tank looking like this, we have one in the preventative maintenance kit. Just pop it in there, close the door, and we're good. Okay, one last item that I want to be sure that you're all aware of are the feed rollers. These are consumable rollers. They're available in a exchange roller kit, it's called. You'll get 3 rollers, a feed roller, a separator roller, and a pick roller. And they only need to be changed after about 400,000 scans. If you're not counting the scans, when you start to have trouble feeding the checks, where it's pulling multiple checks all at once, or in other cases where it won't pull the check, that usually indicates that the rollers need to be changed. And they are customer changeable. I have detailed instructions that we'll be sending to you, but for now I just wanted to point these out and let you know where they are. To change them, it's relatively easy. You'll have to remove the top cover. You'll see the first roller here, and then the other 2 rollers are under this cover. There's a little latch that you can remove this top piece, and you'll see the 3 rollers in there. They literally come out, put the new roller in, and replace the cover, and you're back in business. Again, we're not going to demonstrate this, but we do have written instructions that we will make available to you